I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. Started playing music in college after a failed attempt at being an athlete, and it just kind of happened from there. I guess I sang growing up. My parents wanted me to be in the choir just to give me something to do, and so I would go, and from that I guess I developed a talent that I didn't really want to have at the time, and now I'm very thankful for it. And so being in New Orleans and being influenced by the culture and the music and everything else, it kind of comes across in what I do now. And so now I get to travel around and do my own music. I think there's a lot of things in life that you get one shot at, or maybe that you're supposed to do, and nobody ever in their life gets to a point when they're old and say, man, I really don't like where I am right now. But that started at a younger age, and they just never fought against it, I guess. They just kind of went with the flow, went with the way things were going. And next thing you know, you look at your life and you realize, this is not what I want to be. And so for me, when the opportunity came along to play music, I just kind of took it, and I haven't stopped, and I started enjoying doing it, and people have gotten something out of it. And so as long as that keeps happening, I'll keep doing it. And if it ever changes to something else, I'll gladly do that. My goals are just to be available, just to be approachable, to make music that people can relate to, but that also I've related to or have, had a part in it. I don't just want to write music that means nothing to me, but can capture people's attention. Like, I want it to be real all the way through. So it's kind of my goal, was just to give people an honesty and an openness, and maybe help change some of the ways that they might have grown up believing, or making it just a real thing for people. Yeah, Hurricane Katrina has become the question for every interview that I've ever done, or any time you say you're from New Orleans, people say, well, tell me about Katrina. And I usually give the same answer every time, that it affected me in a way that I had a lot of fear, not necessarily the damage that it did to where I live, but just the fear that I have of things I couldn't control, or things that were uncertain to me. So when Hurricane Katrina came, it just kind of turned everything on its head. And my sister had about 13 feet of water in her house, so going in there and gutting her house out, and just the smells and that kind of thing, I'll never forget. And I hope I never have to go through it again, but from that, it's become a story for a lot of people's life of getting through things, of overcoming obstacles. And it'll be the story I'll tell my kids, for sure. But now, the city's trying to make a comeback, and there's a lot of the tourist areas are back up and running, and they're cleaner than they've ever been, But there's still people who need help, so. If you've never heard my music, I would say there's a mix of a lot of different elements happening at one time. It's hard to describe your own music without sounding cocky, and I don't want to come across as cocky, but I think it's easy to listen to. I don't think you need to necessarily be a music fanatic to like it. I think kids like it, and adults like it, and grandparents seem to like it too, and so I can't complain. It's just fun, soulful music with a meaning. The CD is going to be a mix of where I am now. I think I'm a lot more comfortable with life, as far as just where I am as a person, and what God's made me to be. So it's allowed me to be free from a lot of drama and things, and make a CD that is going to be easier to listen to than the first one. I think that I've grown as a musician, as I've grown as a person, and I think that's going to come across And I'm excited about just showing all the elements of recording. I think people can be able to get involved with what the CD is about just by the pictures and the behind-the-scenes stuff that we're going to do. And that's kind of my goal. I just want it to keep moving in a positive direction. I played Jazz Fest this last year in New Orleans, and I played with Dave Matthews and some people who I really looked up to, and there was so many people that it just kind of became one of those moments like, man, I've dreamed about this when I was little and I finally got to do it. But if I had to play in like an everyday venue, there's a place called the Varsity Theater. It's in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, by LSU, and I love playing there. It's kind of my favorite home place. 10 years from now, I'd like to have a family and be a good dad. Musically, I would like to keep going, but I don't want to try to hold on to being cool. Like, I'd like to age gracefully, and even in my music, I'd like people to still get into it. But I mean, I'm only 25, so it's not like I'm going to be ancient 10 years from now. So we'll see. I mean, I'm kind of open-ended as far as what I would like to see the outcome be. The actual playing, the concert part becomes, I guess, even though that becomes the focus of people, they hear it and they love it. And entertaining is a favorite part for me, but it's such a small part of all of this. Like, I feel everything leading up to it is the big part, and then you get on stage and you play for an hour and then you walk off and you go back to work, you know. I like all of it. I mean, it really is a fun career. I mean, I would be lying if I said that, you know, it was like this bad thing. I mean, it's hard work, but I love it. And I love meeting people. I think that's one of my favorite. You know, not too many people can say that they have good friends all across the country. And I think that is the coolest thing to me. Like, I genuinely enjoy meeting the people that I meet. And if I become friends with them, they're genuinely my friends. I'm not just like faking. Like, if I come back, we're gonna hang out, you know? I want to just invite people to get on board, I guess, with the music and take, I guess, hopefully they could take some ownership in what I'm doing. Because I can't do it without people listening to it and supporting it, nor would I want to. And so I enjoy people getting involved and maybe telling friends and feeling like they know me before the next person did, and that's totally cool with me. And I don't know, that's just what I would wish people would really rally behind it, you know?